So I am Dok Brass, legal name redacted, from Westchester, New York, and primarily in the northern woodsy area. You know, I'm about 45 minutes north of the city. So I am a finger drummer. I use an MPC 2500 to sample vinyl, and then I make more old school 90s golden era style boom bap with a modern swing when it comes down to jazz samples and things of that nature. So what I do is I'll find different parts of a song to sample out into one line, into one melody, and then I will play drums live to it behind the background instead of using drum loops like some producers will use. I'll use kick samples, snare samples, and hats, and love the tambourine, and I just put them and I play drums live to the samples that I create. The culture of hip hop in general, which is overcoming negativity with positivity, is a huge motivation. But everyone goes over negativity in their life, and the way that they overcome it is, a product of what makes you. So what helped made me was my love for music, and when I had negativity going on in my life, I found hip-hop being a fantastic culture that's bred in overcoming violence and even harsher topics with togetherness. So the culture was what got me into it, and what got me into using the MPC specifically are producers such as Jay Dilla and MF Doom, and especially for Dilla's dedication to making arguably one of the best hip-hop albums on his deathbed will never go unnoticed for me, So that's kind of how I ended up getting into it.
This can only be the work of Dr. B.
I'm a really big nerd, so bear with me. Okay, there's a 1930s pulp hero in comics called Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze. Known to be a guy who was all about creating the better for humans, right? He was like a superhero who just healed shit with science. It was dope. My favorite comic writer is Warren Ellis, and in one of his comics called Planetary, he took the moniker of Doc Savage and created it into a different person, same kind of philosophy and same kind of story, but his name was Actual Brass, or Dok Brass, but Doc with a C, right? And he was this hero who created this secret organization in this mountain that no one ever knew about, that created a computer that could find the perfect version of Earth. And then evil people came out of the computer. Comic book things happened, things went down, and then he pretty much, because he could live forever and not have to eat or die, sat there with decrepit legs defending this thing forever. And I love brass instruments, I love soul, I love jazz, and that's a lot of what I sample. So between brass instruments for the music, and then the comic book reference, which is for me huge as a big nerd. It's a multi-level comic reference from Doc Savage to Planetary to Warren Ellis comics and all that kind of fun stuff. My goal is to be self-productive in music, where I know that what I make is enough to survive myself, but not live in excess. 50% of all the money I make is set aside to be put towards urban youth programs and things that can actually help people. At the end of 2017, I take all the money that I get, which again is 50% of any sale, any lesson I give, any gig I do, anything that's paid to me. Half of it just goes to me to maintain and continue to move forward. And the other half goes towards a saving pot that pretty much gets spent in one big gulp to make as big a change as possible within the year, And at the end of the year, I will be, of course, promoting and showing the proof in the pudding, as it were, to show not just how much hip-hop can help, but how much I can help in the hero in all of us kind of thing. I am a averagely looking, fairly good-looking white dude. And I would rather my music and my message be remembered, not the generic-looking motherfucker. You know what I mean? When no one knows what you look like, for the most part, you technically saw what I look like. Pretty good looking, right? You technically saw what I look like, but does that really make a difference in the music? When does it make you move differently based off of what color my skin is? Does it make you move differently based off of my sex or anything like that? It shouldn't, I would hope. You know what I mean? So to me, the mask is just a representation of, don't let this be what you look for when you listen to the music. Look for the name, the sound and the mission. When you hear Dok Brass, you should know what it is that I'm trying to do, not what it is that I look like. That should be the farthest thing from what is important.